morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome back to the Poll Report. Let's get started. We just had non-farm payroll at 8:30. Big job print for the U.S. I'm just getting the workspace up here to see if we can trade a few minutes after the news. We've had some pretty big spikes in the 1 minute, but looking for some opportunity, maybe some dollar follow through from what I look at on the technicals. So let's get started. We know there's risk in trading. You know the deal. Don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. If you're following me out there, youtube.com/Chris Pulver and my verified Twitter account at Real Chris Pulver, best place to follow me. I also get a lot of messages on Instagram at Real Chris Pulver. Just make sure it's the real me. No double letters, no underscores, no hyphens, no blah, 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 whatever. Okay, let's go to the charts. So I'm just getting things over here. Aussie dollar, switch this to Euro dollar, and see if there's some opportunity. So far for the week, it's been pretty solid. Wednesday was FOMC, Thursday was Bank of England and ECB. We had some pretty good flow each session, really. Ended up grabbing about 175 pips, 174 pips on Wednesday afternoon. If you traded with me, and then grabbed about 57 or 60 pips, something like that, on the group. For the pound, we had like 100 pips, and I was trying to protect, and it just had a quick pullback. So, anyway, so far so good. And the euro flow is pretty nice as well. Looking at the currency strength charts, 835. So here's the update. Dollars on top. We have the Kiwi dropping, Aussie dropping, everything dropping really against the dollar, which is pretty interesting. And what did we talk about? Well, dollar strength probably happened in the near term, and it looks like it is. So yes, technicals work, everybody. There's euro dollar. Here's pound dollar. Pound dollar's been a pretty good sell trade since that 2400 spot. We broke some fresh lows. It is now down to 21.57. So pretty good deal there. Dollar versus the New Zealand pulling back. Dollar versus CAD. We didn't come down low enough to buy it, but I was looking for a long on the dollar CAD. That's okay. Dollar Swiss though, like that one a lot. Been long, and so far so good. And dollar yen. Not really trading the yen right now, but still. All right, so looking for some follow through. So let's see if we get this. Pretty straightforward move. Couple ways to trade it, right? One is, we can chase it right now. There's our high-low pullback. Now, during the news, there's a couple ways to do this. Kind of a few strategies I discussed during these big news trades. This would have been one of them just based on price action. The trade would be over already. It would be this. There's your news break. There's your low. You look for a 38% pullback, and then you look to retest the low. Trade's done, right? It's just a little scalp. The other trade is we follow Masterflex. We have Hekinashi red. We have the dynamic ribbon red. And now we're going to look to see how price behaves within it. So if we have equal lows, price pulls back a little bit. Maybe we get a transition of color where it goes, the candles will change from green back to red, or we hit the ribbon resistance and we can sell back off, hit the lows, or hit some fresh lows. That is good. If I take a look at the chart here, we had a pretty big day on the SPY yesterday. Everything was up on the indices. What was interesting, I took a screenshot. Let me see if I can find this. Took a screenshot. I know where I put it. It's in my Gmail. It wasn't really a full green day on everything. It was like, hey, remember those FANG stocks? That was green. And in a big way. Facebook announced a massive, like $40 billion buyback, and Apple was up a ton, Tesla's up a ton, Google's up a ton, Amazon earnings as well. So we'll take a look at those. I guess they're called Mang stocks now, MAANG, since we have the name Meta. But let me check my little heat map. I know I posted it. Yeah, right here. So this was yesterday's heat map. So from the feeling of yesterday's trading, I expected things to be more green. And what was green was very green. We had a lot of big green. You can see here like the 3+%, that kind of bright green. And guess what? Some of the biggest companies in the world had those massive runs. Meta up 23%. That's insane. That's almost as fantastic as their 30+% drop with earnings misses in 2021 or 2022 rather. But Microsoft up 4.69, Apple up 3.71, Google up 7.27, Amazon 7%. I mean, those are some huge, huge numbers for some, you know, trillion-dollar companies essentially. So that, yes, with a market-weighted index like the SPY, it made a big difference. But not everything else was obviously green. You know, you look at this as like kind of felt like half the market was green, but what was green was really, really strong. Consumer defensive down a little bit, energy down, healthcare down, railroads. Thought that was pretty interesting. Looking into some freight and railroad like Old Dominion. Um, anyway, but big recovery, kind of squeezed by the Mang stocks. All right, just gonna take a glance here, see if we have some tradable setups on the dollar crosses. I'm gonna look for some behavior with Masterflex at this point. Okay, so if we have pullbacks into the ribbons, find some support. So if we have the up move, so we're looking for this to bounce and continue higher, bounce, continue higher, pull back, continue lower, pull back, continue lower. And again, I want to see pullbacks. If we don't have pullbacks and it just breaks lows, I mean, again, it's like, oh, I guess I could get in and chase it, but I'm just going to try to use the indicators. I mean, I'm using 1 minute time frames, so we should be able to trade with some pretty good precision. We've had a good week so far. Okay. All right. Also, let me get logged into YouTube. Say hi to everybody. Hope everyone knew that we were starting at 8:30 a.m. instead of 9:30 for the weekly recap slash bonus session. I only said it every day this week, so probably stuck in at some point. All right. Yes, yes. Attendance is looking good. All right. Willard in the house. David, good morning. Peter, good morning. Denise, good morning. Mountain. Mountains, what's up? What's happening, Chris, Jerry, Nazar, Ken? What's up, Ken? Where you at? Arizona? You in LA? You in San Diego? Mikey, good morning. Katrina, good morning. FK, good morning. Jason, what's up? Hope that dollar gets stronger and stronger. I mean, technically it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Interest is short on the euro dollar. Yes. So I'm gonna actually get logged into MT4 right now. And euro dollar is trading at 108.50. We got a monthly pivot at 107.50. So yeah, so far so good. I took a short around that 109.40 area yesterday. So that's up a few bucks. What's happening, Tom? How are you? Oh, Pat. What's up, Pat? How are you? All those fancy names on YouTube. Okay. Just get logged in here with MT4. Get the browser back up for trading. Here we go. So looks like we're just getting a little runaway dollar strength. Pound is dropping. Who's short, by the way, at 2,400? I know that was the trade we looked at in the trading room, right? Who shorted at 24.50? It was right there. I mean, 24.44 is the high, 2,400, pretty easy equal high, and it's still not at our target yet. I mean, we were looking at shorting it here and taking it back down to this target. So it's just high, low, equal low. Right around 1.20, I'd be pretty satisfied, which is just off the low. This low is around 1900, but 1.20, I think that's a pretty good profit spot for the pound dollar. Euro dollar, I talked about the 110 to 109 area. I shorted at 109.40. I should have shorted at the highs at 110. The high was like 110.20. I didn't. I was like, well, whatever. Dollar's going to drift a little bit higher, have some pivots aligning, but 110 was definitely the spot. That was just beyond that 50% retracement. And so far, working out pretty nicely. There's a monthly pivot here around 107.60. That's probably going to be my first profit target. So that'll be about 200 pips on the euro dollar for a little grabberoo. Good. Mike's in the pound short. Excellent. Ken's in Phoenix, heading to California today. Okay. Good. Appreciate that, Tom. Thank you. All right. Good. So dollar strength is in. Let's see. This is Aussie dollar at equal lows. The euro dollar drifting a little bit lower. Yeah. I mean, don't chase it at the lows. I'm not going to. So if we have a little bit of a pullback to the ribbon, I'll look for a sell. If it just continues to go lower, I'm already short on the euro dollar, already short on the pound dollar. I'm already long on the dollar Swiss. I'm not trading the dollar yen. So I already have some exposure, right? So this is going well. This is going well. This is going well. So that's pretty good. And how did we do this week? So I can just kind of ride some of these positions out. Let me take a look at Perfect Storm, how my robots do this week. Perfect Storm, 569 pips this week. Thank you very much, Perfect Storm. That's why I love you. Perfect Storm range, 367 pips this week. That's why I love you. And Pockets Pattern Pro, up 300. Wow, 357 this week. Cool. So 357. Let's see, 357. Where's my mouse? So 357 plus 367 plus, and then Perfect Storm 569. I like it. 569. So nearly 1,300 pips captured with automation this week. We ended up grabbing 174. I think it was 174 on Wednesday. So this was new flex. Check our trade logs. Kevin coming in with the exotics. Okay, I'll take a look at it. Pound Aussie. So yeah, I mean we grabbed some pips this week. So 174 on the dollar basket, plus another 57 on the pound basket. Trade's going pretty well so far. Pound dollar's up a few hundred pips. Euro dollar's up over or about 100 pips. Pound Aussie we closed out for a 170 pips. That was I protected that though. That was a wash from a trade of 154. That was to the downside. So I'll take the net 16 right there. And then 110, which we had a loss on the Aussie dollar, a win on the euro dollar, a net 10 right there. So overall for the week, between some robots and some manual trading, 1,550 pips. I'll certainly take it. It's been green in the stocks and options portfolio, so overall pretty good week considering. What do we have? We had FOMC, we had the Bank of England, we had the ECB, we have non-farm payroll. It's a busy week, right? So anyway, all going well. Denise says, "Do you post the storm trades anywhere?" I mean, Denise, the robot's been running for 3 years live. So I don't really post it. All I do is track it. It's a MyFix book. The currencies are the same currencies we talked about in class since 3 years ago. It's the same 8 currencies, 6 or 8 currencies I trade all the time. I can't tell you the last time I made an adjustment to the system. It just trades the same way, trades the same currencies, goes after wins. It's really the active storm strategy. I think it's going after like little, 40, 50 pip wins. Perfect Storm Pro is a little bit different with the scale in, so it gets into tighter. It has better drawdown. So my Perfect Storm Pro is a slightly well, it's that's why I built it. It's a better drawdown system, better entries, better group management, and trailing stop loss features are a lot better, a little bit more sophisticated. And so that one is, I mean, sitting in around, see, let me check the drawdowns in each of these. So my original Perfect Storm is in around a 7.6% drawdown. The Perfect Storm Pro is in about a 10% drawdown. And my Pockets Pattern Pro is in about a 3% drawdown. So again, you might be thinking like, well, that doesn't work for my prop trader program. Well, I didn't say they were prop trader programs. They're systems that trade with no stop losses, and I trade currency pairs that behave, that are really obedient, that don't trend, that don't do a lot of stuff other than hit my profit targets. So that's the whole plan. Let's see here. MNQ went up and closed out. Just had a hard drop. Look at that drop. MNQ. All right. MNQ. What do you have here? MNQ. Am I missing something? Aha. Yeah, that's noticeable. Let's go to interesting. So are the Qs dropping big today? Yeah, I mean, a 305 pre-market on the Qs looking to fill this gap. That's not a surprise. I do wonder though if this is a double bottom and truly a double bottom, then this center high is broken. We have a gap to fill. If this comes back, this will be really interesting. If it comes back to this level and still holds support, this would be resistance pull back and find the gap. But this is going to make some longs a little squirrely if we pull back aggressively today and fill this gap, because that was a big one. Looking at this Q gap right there, coming up to run up into that yearly pivot. Awesome run, nice target for the year, of course. And then we'll see if it gets faded back down, which looks like today we could. So I did a lot of moving and shaking in the stocks and options account. Here is my little sheet for my notes, and I kind of tracked everything here. So these are all trades from this week. Covered calls, getting some stocks called away, hopefully. A couple of pending. I'm going to see if these filled. I'll know in the next 45 minutes when we have opening bell. But QuantumScape, NCLH, this one getting called away likely for profit. Was trading around 15. Tesla had a covered call up to 210, which is way up there towards that yearly pivot. And we're trading with a high yesterday nearly at $200. Maybe we get to 210, but again, pre-market's down 185. We're going to see if the bulls, this is what would have to happen. I talked about it this week. I'd rather see the bulls, let's say we pre-market down here. I'd rather see it gap lower and then get bullish all day. If we can do that for today, that's a good sign that there really is some volume, some true volume and breadth behind this bull rally. You're also going to start seeing the percentages. The SPY's up like 19% off the lows in October. So does that mean we're in a bull market? I mean, it's close. So we're sitting here with the close yesterday up 19.5%. We're coming in on that. There's a 20% recovery, and then of course my favorite is, let's say that the S&P is up 19.5%, and then you see this ridiculous comparison. Well, if the S&P is up 19.5, ARK is up 50%. Look at that. It's like, right, but ARK is also down 80% from the highs, and the S&P was down 34%. So pick your poison, right? Would you rather have a drawdown that's 80% of your overall value, or would you rather not have yes, we know that ARK is tech led and it recovers pretty much faster on the upside, but it's also a higher beta stock, so it's going to run, way more aggressively on the ups and downs. So and again, look where it is. It came right up to the 200 EMA. I think ARK is probably going to come back and fill this gap. Pullback is likely on some of these runs, So enjoy the melt up, take advantage of it. I'm still protective. I'm still cautiously bullish. Closed out just time, made it $400 that trade. Good. Novice gaps. Yep. Most likely will. So we'll probably end up coming close to filling it today on the Qs. It wouldn't surprise me. Like I said, I'd rather fill the gap here and see if the buyers are interested in taking it back up. Right. But if we fill the gap, if we have open here, come back and test this gap low, and then we flush down to fill this gap, that's a pretty, I don't know. That just doesn't look as bullish to me. Looks like we had a heck of a run, and that's your high, and then the market's ready to say, okay, congratulations if you took profit. Now it's time to drop. So there is some interesting timing going on here with the markets. So as we turn into, we've had one of the best September or the best January since 2019. We've had one of the best starts of the year since like 20. Oh, fudge, I don't know. I just read this on StockTwits, I think yesterday. I think the market said up like 22%, but I don't see that. Not for the year. It's up since the low of October. Let me see here. 6 more weeks of buying. That's a little ref on some Groundhog Day. Bulls call Bulls call Powell's bluff. There it is. Let's see here. Meta than expected. International news. FedEx rolled. T-Mobile. Altria shares. Everything up pretty much. Yes. Meta stock just doubled over the last 3 months, right? All about timing there. Ongoing rate increases will be appropriate. Yep. But we know that's probably 2 rate hikes. Okay. Let's see. I was just looking at, I think maybe it was the Seeking Alpha. Yeah, it must have been Seeking Alpha. All right, anyway, just got to catch up on some daily rips. What else is happening? So we good? Wall Street opens in about 35 minutes. Take a look at Forex. Dollar's running hot. Let's go to the DXY. We expected to see a run. It's happening. It didn't quite hit oversold territory. However, it did go lower, like I suspected. Right? FOMC did push the dollar down, but that helped put in a bottom. So funny how stuff works like that. So dollar strength's been great. These are the positions I'm currently looking at some dollar strength. I'm short on the pound dollar from this equal high. That's working out great for us in flex. Short of the euro dollar yesterday at 109.40. That's up 100 pips. Aussie dollar, I didn't short. I certainly wish that I did have. That doesn't make any sense. But I wish I did. I didn't. It doesn't matter. But there's a monthly pivot right there at basically 69.65 or 69.60, and we had highs around 71.50. So good opportunity there for a couple hundred pips on the Aussie dollar for a short. If anybody grabbed that. Anyway, pound dollar I'm short, euro dollar I'm short, dollar Swiss I'm long. That's looking much, much better. Let's see if the dollar Swiss can start taking out some of these previous highs. This high, this high, this high. Any of those highs would be great. We take out a high, we get a pullback here, look for a move back to that yearly pivot. I'd like to see it come back to this pocket and monthly pivot combo between 97 98. So I'm going to stay long, enjoy some of that positive swapperoo on the dollar Swiss, and then the dollar Sing SGD moving up nicely. 31.72. My break even's around 31.50. So, and I did not get filled. The low was, you got to be kidding me, Smalls. 1.30 was my third level to buy in, and it didn't get filled. That low was 3034. That's lame. I'm not done yet, though. 3040 set a chart alarm. But we'll see if it turns. If we get on the right-hand side of the trend line, that's a good thing. So hopefully it's maybe coming up to the monthly pivot. Maybe it spends some time over on the right-hand side of the trend line, look for a fresh little breakout, and then I'll be long. My goal on dollar Sing is to stay back towards this midpoint, which is around 37.50 to 3800. What up, bro? You being noisy today? Okay, Peter says close one of 6 positions on dollar Swiss for pips. 96 pips, very, very good. That is good. Let me check my old dollar Swiss here. So here is my dollar Sing. Looking better. Dollar Swiss. So yeah, I mean these positions again just missed those lows. That was an entry around 90.25. Our low on dollar Swiss was FOMC 90.58. So I mean I don't feel like I really messed it up. It's just I didn't get my fill. So I'm still long, and I do have some buy stops up here, which I think I can safely move lower. Let me modify those. So if I've got buy stops way up here around 94, I'm going to move them down. Let me see if I can zoom in. So let me check these highs. I can move these down. So this high is around 92.80. I'm going to move this to 93. Modify order 9300. And buy stop here. I'll do a 93. 25. There. So I'm going to move these a little closer to these recent highs. So a couple of buy stop levels right in here, and I'll continue to stack them to the upside, targeting this profit window. So that way, if I am adding buy stops, it still brings my cost basis down. If we still play the chop suey game where it's doing this, let's say that the last 2 days it gets pushed right back down. That's fine. I'm still looking to buy this thing at 9,000. So that'll also bring my cost basis down. I'm still going to look at the same profit target. Okay, but good stuff on that, Peter. Closing out for some profit. Always good. And what's it look like on the trading front here? So it really just went, Like, look at it. We didn't even, no pullbacks. It just stayed red, stayed red, stayed red. 17 to, there's another 20 pips to the downside on the Kiwi. Dollar CAD just stayed bullish on the Hekinashi. Dollar Swiss stayed bullish. So, I mean, whatever. I'm not complaining. We're short, pound dollar, euro dollar, long dollar Swiss. We expected some dollar strength, and we're getting it. So overall, I think we can probably summarize this as a pretty good week. Let's see if the market can cling to these gains. Let's see what the old Gaparoo does today from 9:30 onwards. I'm going to see what stocks get called away for profit this week. Between this week, next week, I did the math. It was like $30,000 worth of cost savings on some of my option plays, and then if I have some of my fills from yesterday that I put in right when we had, this. What I noticed yesterday was that massive like $30 gap in Meta, and then everything was up with it. But like I said, it was mostly led like Fang stocks slash Mang stocks recovery. Tech was going with it. Not everything was equal, but I had a pretty good day. It was my portfolio was up like 2% yesterday. So try to do some maneuvering and save myself another like $6,000 or $7,000 going into next week. All right. Anything else you'd like to take a look at this morning? I mean, I'm good. We can talk about a few things. Everyone watching, so most of you probably saw this in my trading room this week. If you're in the Flex trading room, I have a little bundle opportunity to add in for a very inexpensive price. If you want to trade stocks and options with me, I have a 3-month special. So instead of paying $199 a month, it's $149 for 3 months, which is a pretty good deal. I have the link for it right here if you're interested. Let me make sure it's not a t-shirt link today. And survey says I'm opening up right here. It's still valid. Good. Okay, so I'll put this in the chat if interested. Okay, and I'll check that dollar sec as well. So there's a link if you want to check it out. It is my equities on demand trading room, which I run Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. But like I said, usually it's a la carte, $199 for 1 month, and here's a 3 month, so you get a quarter of me trading with other students, stocks and options, Telegram alerts, and trading every day. I'll teach you how to trade some stocks and options. 149 for 3 months. There you go. Euro Seek. The Swedish krona. Is it interesting? Yes, I think it is. Just kind of some lessons on these exotic crosses. I think this is an interesting spot. I think that this is a trend line we need to watch. So, I would probably not try to call the top on this one. That's just speaking from a little bit of a exotic experience. See the Turkish lira, it didn't care about the highs. See the dollar Turkish lira, didn't care about the highs. We're clearly in a bull zone right now. Is there anything on Sweden? Are they raising rates, cutting rates? The euro did just increase to, is it 3.5% or 4%? What was the? I know they went up 50 basis points this week, so they're at 3% now, looking to be another 3.5 over their next rate decision. So, anyway, we could be getting some interest rate differential going on with these exotic crosses. Could be happening in the eurozone. Hopefully, we see the euro Swiss starting to behave as well. If we break above, I mean, there's a differential here between 3% for the euro and 1% for the Swiss. Big profit target for us, hopefully at 103.50. And if we get some drift, 105. And that's a big one. Okay. Let's see here. Good. Rich says took the special. Awesome. Love it. Yeah, thanks, Donna. That's cool. Yeah, hit that thumbs up, everybody. We got 80 people watching. Let's get 80 likes. YouTube likes it. It helps. It helps drives more people to the channel. I mean, I'm sure I could drop thousands of dollars on like, the right search engine optimization and blah blah blah. But look, I just do this for fun and do this as a little free outlet for all the traders out there that need some help. So perfect. Thank you. Okay. I'm trying to think what else. Look, we're really in good shape on a lot of these positions. I will just be looking to see how the market's going to behave today. A couple things on these gaps. Like I said, we either gap lower to fill, but if this uses that as support and we start trying to break new highs, the Fed really didn't do anything to the market. In fact, the market's like, yeah, we hear you, Powell, but we're moving past you, dude. Your message is falling on deaf ears at this point, and may the melt up continue. So, and when the melt up is kind of tech led, especially when it comes to like Mang stocks, when it's led by the biggest companies in the world, the S&P is going to recover a lot. So I know that we got filled on these trades here. We got filled on some bear call spreads, but these are out till May and June. So if there is a harsher time ahead over like Q2, then these trades aren't bad. So, but at the same time, these were hedges, and if we're going up, our portfolio is bullish, and we end up cutting these loose. But we'll make that assessment in a little bit. We got plenty of time. But meanwhile, if everything's up in green, that's good. Should have some stocks getting called away if you have some ownership with me in EOD. We have a lot of credit spreads that are in full profit that we've been just chipping away at for really small debits. So this is all good problems. Part of me just wishes like, oh, it should have been more aggressive. Yeah, I wish I was. Difference between last week and this week. I mean, Meta getting called away this week versus last week is a $30+ difference. Coinbase getting called away last week versus this week is a $20 difference, right? I mean, Coinbase is up to 81.50 yesterday, but look at this. Came right back up to the 200 EMA, and here we are, $4 lower. So I have a feeling there's going to be some pretty heavy profit taking going on today. So let's see where things get held together. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to take a break, take a little breather. Class at 10 o'clock for equities on demand. Wall Street's open in 25 minutes. If you have any questions, let me know. Anything you want to take a look at, we can. Just really quickly, final thoughts on that Swedish krona. That's SEK. Just be careful. I wouldn't call that top. I see that level on the weekly time frame. I wouldn't call the top because if you look left, there's also a high back here in 2009. So just be careful. Okay, look for a trend line break, look for some bearishness, some price action to support a little bit of resistance, but we could still go higher. That's all I'm saying. So, but thanks for bringing it to me. US 30, Euro Yen. Euro Yen I think is pretty terrible. I don't think it's going anywhere. Euro Yen is still just kind of stuck. So we were looking at this, lots of changes of directions here the first part of the year, and it's getting even tighter. So if we have this type of structure on Euro Yen, if it turns red on smaller time frames, there's a stop loss up here. Go after this kind of channel low, but it also begs the question of if it breaks above here, is it a push to the upside? I mean, it's kind of a wait and see, look for confirmation. I just think a lot of the yen pairs are really sloppy at the moment. Pound yen was the best one this week, but that was more led by yen neutral and pound weakness. So I see a lot of the yen pairs just not convincing in a lot of directions. So I'm staying out of them for right now. US 30. That's Dow. I mean, we're not going to get nearly as much volatility out of the Dow as we are the S&P and the Nasdaq. So if we looked at even the DIA, I mean, so the Dow held value, right, over most, but you notice how we're not breaking new highs. So we're still kind of stuck right now in here. US 30 as an instrument versus the individual stocks. I don't know. Part of me would rather just look at 30 stocks and see if I can find, 3 or 4 that I really like versus trading the US 30. So I don't know. That's just me. I like to kind of extract this and, pick my favorites and pick better technicals. Otherwise, I see it's a little bit stuck. So we had this channel right here. We're kind of holding this breakout area. So look, I'm not going to deny that a little consolidation in here, I'd still be interested in maybe buying lows. This US 30, if we come back to this pivot around 33,000, that's a nice little support zone. But I think it's kind of capped at the moment. And we have this thing ranging by about 4 to 4.5%. So I don't see a lot of movement either way. To the upside, probably coming back to these, if we come back to these all-time highs, that's about 12% from range lows, but there's about a 10 to 12% move to the upside versus, the S&P even has, if we go to the SPY, and somehow this thing comes up to retest highs, let's say that it does. There is a 16.5% move to the upside from current price. So I just think there's more room for S&P to recover, certainly more room for the Qs to recover. But I'm not trusting the whole tech thing. We still have a high interest rate environment. We still have a Fed that's going to tighten at least for the next 2 months. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just going to be interesting. It's been an early year melt up. We've had some pretty good numbers. We've checked percentage wise. So we wait and see. I'll just fall back on my outlook is cautiously bullish. That's it. I think what you have, enjoy it, run with it, take advantage of it, be active, get as much buying power and cash accumulated as possible, and protect your profits as always. Okay, let's see here. Rafa says it's good to know. I thought it was the same movement S&P. No, it's not. No, it's just more concentrated, right? I mean, 30 companies versus 500 companies. It just depends. But like I said, I would rather jump into the US 30, extract a few companies that I really like and find their technicals. Like this week, I shorted XOM. So I shorted XOM. I did a 105 by 110 bear call spread. I also went long at the 122. We rolled these out to April. This is now a 4/21 expiration for both of them. So we rolled these instead of worrying about it in the next couple weeks. And this was rolled to a 125 by 120. So this is now, I think I rolled this one for 50 to 55 cents. So this is now worth 345. And this one's worth 325. So there's still some risk on the table with this overall straddle, but I give myself some time where basically if ExxonMobil goes somewhere up here or somewhere down here, there's full credit to be had. And then the risk on the other one. So let's say worst case is I lose $1.65 here. Worst case, I lose $1.65, but I'm right in this direction and I win $1 or 325. So I still make $1.60 net. That was the trade. So I get it that it's not about being perfect. It's just do I have a winner? And make sure that my winners are bigger than my losers. That's the beautiful thing about trading options is you can do a lot of stuff and set it up where the probability is definitely in your favor, walk away profitable, and it's just a trade. Okay. All right, I'll let you go, everybody. It's been about 40 minutes. Let's wrap it up there. I didn't have a super active non-farm, but it was also Friday. We're up 1,500 pips for the week. We got trades running and going our way. I'm going to switch gears to stocks and options here. Traders in equities on demand, I'll see you at the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. And next week, it's not going to be a crazy week, just be a normal week. Monday, Friday, YouTube. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Flex. Monday through Friday, equities on demand. And not running like 5 bonus sessions. So that'll be next week. Okie dokie. Donna, I appreciate it. I love it. Do I have a cold? Yeah, I've had a cold since last week. I was pretty much dead. Friday, Saturday, Sunday last week, I was in rough shape. I canceled all my live sessions on Friday last week. I couldn't break a fever, feel any better until like Monday evening. And that was on the basketball court when I was coughing and wheezing. So this week I've just had like a stuffy head, but I feel way better. So I know I sound terrible, but whatevs. Could be worse. Okay. All right, everybody. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Equities on Demand students, will see you in a little bit, and see you all next week. If you would do me a favor, just if you have not, hit that thumbs up button for me before you go. Let's have a fantastic weekend. Great trading, everybody. Posting this in the chat right here. Thanks for a great week. For an excellent week of trading and bonus sessions. See you Monday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Booyah. That's it. Cool. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. I will see you all on Monday. All right, bye.